At Trysight, we develop solutions to help those with low vision. Our products require functional components where design changes are frequent and production runs vary from a few dozen to a few hundred parts. In the past, we were using FDM-based technologies to produce end-use components, but the part quality and the tolerances weren't where we needed them to be. So we were looking for a more industrial printer, and we saw the potential of the MfgPro230. After putting the printer into production, we saw an immediate difference in the final product. Our parts now have the strength and the finish that can rival injection molded parts, and there's virtually no layer lines on the parts.
One of the major advantages of SLS printing is that parts can be designed with full freedom, as support structures are no longer needed. Whereas before, we would have to design parts at certain angles to avoid the use of support structures. We now design parts based on optimal function instead of manufacturing limitations. The prototypes we manufacture during the design are manufactured using the same method as our production parts. So there's no setup cost when moving from prototypes to production.
With FDM, we can only place parts two-dimensionally on the build platform. But with SLS, we can print parts throughout the build volume by stacking dozens of parts into a single print. This helped us increase throughput while reducing labor costs. Another benefit of SLS compared to FDM is we can print fully assembled products right out of the printer. Before, we would have to print multiple pieces and screw them together to complete a housing. The MfgPro230 can print living hinges, so the full housing pops out of the printer with a moving assembly.
One of our key requirements was not to be locked into proprietary materials from a single vendor. Since the MfgPro230 follows an open materials philosophy, we've been able to experiment with all kinds of third-party materials to achieve the mechanical and the aesthetic requirements that our clients expect. The ability to print soft, flexible parts allows us to manufacture custom-fit variable products that are tailored to individual users. And something like that would just be impossible with traditional manufacturing techniques. While all the other SLS solutions we considered were in the six figures, the MfgPro230 was the only industrial quality SLS machine that a small business like ours could actually afford. The price-performance ratio of this machine is double its nearest competitor. And we believe that this machine's finally opened the door to tooling-free production for virtually any business.